Well, welcome back, my friends, to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Outdoors, a Halfbreed Blades large breaching axe rendition. Now, here's the thing, guys. This channel is set up to do blades. We're content driven, meaning we put out a lot of content. That wasn't hard to figure out, was it? But guys, we do all kind of stuff. We're not a bushcraft channel. We're not a camping channel. We're not a self-defense. We are a blades channel. Now, I put outdoors at the end to expand down the road, and we'll talk about that in another video. But the thing is this, whether it's tactical, whether it's practical, whether it's bushcraft, if it's badass, we're showing it. And here's the deal, son. The stuff from Halfbreed Blades is just badass. Now, they sent this to me as a review sample. I always try to tell you guys that up front and be straight with you. I had a little change of attitude during this review. I had a blast, and Kirk's out there with me. You're going to see him some. Man, we beat the shit out of this thing. But a couple things happened that kind of changed my strategy on it a little bit, and we'll talk about that in a second. Let me give you some stats, and then we can move forward. This is the Halfbreed Blades LBA-01. It's an Austrian K110. The heat treat, the HRC, is 55 to 56. The overall length is 18.43 inches. Got some length to it. The axe head length is 3¼ inches. The axe spike length is 3½ inches. The axe head overall is 7.56 inches. The axe thickness is 0.31 inches or 8 millimeters. So it is a thick, thick boy, and it hits hard. The handle material you see there is G10. The handle thickness is 1.02 inches. The weight is 36.86, so it is a hard hitter. The sheath weighs 8.11 ounces. The overall weight for carry is 44.97. It is Teflon coated. You can carry it on your belt, pals, or Molly compatible. Now you see here, Kirk going to town with that spike. I gave Kirk the thick one. And guys, this ain't the new modern cinder blocks that you can mash with 1 or 2 swings. These are the ones that's got concrete all over them, slap full, and you can see here the abuse that we put on this thing. I did that for a reason. About halfway through the review, we're just kind of cutting up, playing around, and I posted a short. And I got a comment, and it was a dumbass comment, as most dumbass comments go, and that's okay. It didn't bother me. When I put my response, I deleted it, and I'll tell you why. The comment don't matter, the response don't matter, but it made me think. When you look at this axe, or when you look up this axe on Halfbreed Blade, it's for military or first responders, that type of use. It is a breaching axe, meaning an entry axe, and then of course if you need it for anything else. My son's a first responder. He's a deputy over in Alabama, and it kind of hit me that maybe one day he would use a tool like this. It changes your perspective. Now, that's not to say it got super serial or depressed or anything, because we still had a ball. But I went at it with more of a purpose, and you see the spike there. We blunted that tip a little bit, but guys, I'm telling y'all, we did 2 or 3 of these things, and we went straight into dust. We pounded these things into dust, man. And you can see right here, both Kirk and I went after this spike. A couple things that impressed me. Halfbreed does their damn D2 or K110, whatever you want to call it, very well. Yes, that did hit me in the toe, and it hurt like hell. I hope I got the volume down because you didn't want to hear what I said. Hit me right in the damn big toe, son. Normally, I wear steel toes. The one day I'm out there in tennis shoes, we did wear safety glasses. The thing is this, and you see us just continually going at it. And again, huge thank you to Kirk for facilitating, keeping the video going, and for jumping in there as well. So again, you're going to get 2 different skill sets. You get a technique with Kirk, form and technique, and you get me coming out of my shoes trying to break the damn thing, right? So it gives you a good look overall. we did as much on the spike as we did on the blade, right? Now, there's a reason for that. It's not just to see if the spike holds up. It's to see how it feels in hand. Were there any hot spots on that handle? I'll tell you this, and I'll be real honest. It's kind of ovaled out G10, right? But dude, it is super comfortable. Now, I think it would go really, really well with a glove. I didn't wear my tactical gloves for this, but the thing is this. It not only changed, kind of thinking about hunter and maybe using this one day, I went at it with a little more degree of seriousness, and I added a couple things. The other thing is, with this particular axe, since they did send it to me for review, there's going to be long-term use on this. You might see it 2 or 3, 4 times coming up here over the next 3 or 4 months. We're not going to sharpen it. We're not going to hone it. We're just going to every now and then break out, have another review, and keep hammering. I want to make sure that when we do these tools, that we not only do right out of the box, but we do a little more long-term. I want to give you a good look at it and just see how it holds up. And this is what I was talking about. Kirk's kind of ambidextrous. He's going at it here, left-handed, right-handed, and you see the technique. Kirk just gets it done. Now, let me say this again. I know I'm redundant. Guys, I don't cherry pick my materials. This thing has been out there a while. There's soft spots in it. I'm talking about the oak log there. There's soft spots. There's hard spots. There's hollow spots. So we just went to swinging. But I thought it was important to show a lot of use. Okay? I can use it and tell you about it. And maybe 5-10 years down the road, once I've established myself and established some degree of credibility in my mind, I'll do less chopping and more telling. Plus, I'll be getting old at that point. Until then, we're going to film it, we're going to shoot it, we're going to show it. I think it's important. We both followed all the way through. We'll take a look, I believe, at the head. Yeah. And you see right there now, no damage to the edge. And I was really, guys, I'm really, really impressed with that edge. I chopped this. Now you see old Scabber's not as ambidextrous. But here's the deal. Here's the deal, guys. We chopped through this. Kirk chopped it, I chopped it. Then I took this thing to work. And I thought it was important to do like one of the pressure-treated 4x4s. And I tried to go right through a wood knot. And I'm going to show you that. Give you a harder surface to slap it on. So I wanted to put as much pressure as I could. 1 on the edge, yes. 2 on the shaft to see if it bent, to see if it warped, to see whatever it did. 3 on the spike. And then 4, I wanted to get a good feel for it. You know, if you have to use this thing a lot in a particular day or a couple of days or whatever, does it hurt your hand? I can tell you for me personally, I didn't feel any hot spots. I love the way that they did the G10. It was comfortable in hand. You really felt no shock, no impact, or I didn't at all. It was comfortable. Now, there is a different degree when I was hitting the 4x4 today, but again, it didn't hurt, it didn't sting. You could feel it a little bit, but it felt like the G10 was absorbing a lot of that shock. And that was impressive to me. Now, you see, it took me a little while to do this, and then I just said kind of to hell with it and went in spots. But I wanted to complete the drill here. Guys, the thing is this, with these kind of tools, they are expensive. They just are. It doesn't matter what company it is, they're going to be. So the other side of it is, I wanted to get you a good look. If you're going to buy one, or if you're a municipality and looking at it for your first responders, I wanted to give you the best look I could. I got some ideas to continue to do with it for a second video that I think will be great. It's also got a pry bar on the end, and we use it some. We'll go a little harder as we go, but I thought this was a great initial out of the box, just kind of checking the sharpness, checking the tip, that kind of thing. Before we go any further, guys, there was a time in this country where 22 vets a day took their own lives. Now, we know that the stats are everywhere. We're coming off a weekend and a holiday. The real numbers run anywhere from 15 to 29. So it doesn't matter what it is, 15, 22, 29, no matter the number. Anything over 0 is simply unacceptable. And all that means in this world is this: Bets, we love you. You have a place here. Guys, I backed the blue. You just heard me say my son was a deputy. Now, I backed it before then, and I'll be honest with you, before anybody says it, I get told all the time, back the blue till it happens to you. Well, it's happened to me more than it'll happen to you. I have my reasons. I respect people that don't support it. This is my channel and my causes, and that's really all I'm going to say about it. I'm not arguing with anybody over it. I respect your right to disagree. Finally, if you are an addict, never quit quitting. The other thing I wanted to do with this was if it was in a camping situation, or if you were taking it out for a day hike or something like that. Now, I realize it's heavy. I thought about it when I said it. I'll get the whole, it's too, okay. What I would say is this: you have a sharp, dependable tool that's going to stand up. There was no warping. There was no chipping of the edge, no rolling of the edge. The handle never warped. It didn't twist. It didn't bend. It held its own. Yes, we doled out that tip a little bit, but dude, we smashed concrete blocks and then kept smashing them. Tip held up very well, or the spike held up very well, I should say. Now, this right here is classic scab. You know what I'm saying? I don't set stuff up or lock it in. We do a lot of freestanding stuff, and that's not always the best way to go at things. I tried to chop right into the middle, and I mean right into the middle of a wood knot, and we found one. I just wanted to bang on it a little bit, and you'll see me hitting it flat a couple times, but you see how well this thing chops. It hits hard. It has a good amount. What did we say it weighed? 36.86 ounces, son. That's a good. Now, I understand this isn't going to be a day hike type axe, okay? You could take it for a camping trip if you're driving in or something like that. And the only reason I say that is because I know a lot of times folks want to get their stuff, strike out, and go. Something light, fast. But if you're doing a long-term camp, I think this would be a great tool. I think it would hold in there. And again, I was really, really, really impressed with how well the damn edge held up. It just did an amazing job. Let's watch the finish. Now, we're going to do a little prying. When we come back for another review, we'll do a little more prying in depth. And I realized after I got done, guys, I know I should have kept the sheath on it. That was my fault. Not very responsible when it comes to safety. I was as careful as I could be. But again, to do it over, I would use the sheath. But I'll be honest with you, I never felt like I was in any danger. I didn't have any hot spots. The edge never got close to my hand. And basically what we're going to do with this is just pry this board up. We'll bust it up a little bit, but we'll pry it up. If it's a breeching axe, it's an entry axe. So you're going to have to take out some wood. You might take out some concrete. You might take out things like that. So I thought this was a solid test. We put our foot on it some. We pried down on it some. And it just worked well. Let's take a minute and look. There you go. That's one way to do it. Hey guys, again, I want to thank Halfbreed Blades for sending this for me to check out. I love axes. I've got another axe to do, and I believe I've got another knife to do. And I am very, very appreciative for what they've sent. Just some quality shit, man. I have been Kirk and I were talking yesterday, very, very impressed with the overall quality. Guys, I love y'all. Have a great day. I'm Scab. You're not. A large breeching axe, son. I'm gone.